Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. I am here today to work on some projects using the items that Beebeecraft sent me. I will have all of their information down below in the description box, and I also have a coupon code for you guys down there. But we are going to be working on a book dangle. I'm kind of experimenting today, so you guys can kind of see my process, and we'll see what we can do with this beauty right here. Really, nothing more needs to be done to this, but of course I am a more is more kind of person, so I am going to be jazzing this up even more and making it more magnificent. And it's going to end up being a book dangle on the journal I'm working on, which is going to be just over the top extra, but it's going to be detachable. So you don't need to have this on while you're journaling in that journal. But I wanted this journal to be very magical and sparkly and just all the sparkles. So that's why I wanted to use this as the book dangle. I will be working with these pieces right here, which I showed you guys in the unboxing a couple videos back, or a few videos back. I will try to link that video down below. And we are going to be using these, well, I think I'm going to have to make some, but I'm going to be using some eye pins, and I'm going to make some from this little bit of wire that I have left. And let's go ahead and get started. So I have my pliers here. My idea is to put these star beads, these beautiful beads, onto some wire so that I can dangle them from the chain here. Now, I'm not sure, I don't want, this is like my sample length for most of the projects I work on with beads, but this is a little bit too long. So we're going to be experimenting. I'm going to make it a little, maybe like 60% of this, and see how far, or maybe half, or a little more than half, just to see how far it gets us. I do like my eye pins to have a very small hoop or loop at the end, so I like working with smaller lengths. So we're going to make a little loop here at the end, and so I curved it in. Now I'm going to back it up a little bit. I've done lots of tutorials of how I make these in the past. I'll do the next one a little bit slower so you guys can see. Then I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit and loop it in again. Just to get it as round as I can get it. Okay. All right, so let's put one of these stars on here and see how it looks. Okay. So as you can see, the way it strings on here is through, there's like 3 points on one side and 1 point on the other. So if you were to do two, like more of them in succession, it's going to lay a certain way because of that. Oops. So I think I'm just going to try 2 here and see how it looks. But my intention was just to put 1 on here. So you see how it's not completely straight. I think 2 would look good though. I think I'm going to do 2 on the next one. But so I'm just going to put this 1 star on here. Maybe it's easier if I like move things out of the way so you guys can kind of have a better surface area that you're looking at. All right, I put my pinky here and I snip off the excess. Okay. And we're going to close up that loop. Actually, I think I might snip up. Where did it go? Oh, right here. Okay, good. I'm going to snip off a little bit more. Because this isn't coming up flush to that little corner. The corner of the star. Because it's not like a round bead. So I need a smaller area to work with. So I'm going to leave the little piece right here. This star keeps slipping off. It's a falling star. Alright, so I'm going to close up the loop and I'll go slow on this one. I'm grabbing it by the very end because I'm making a very small little loop and trying to make the loop in the same direction as that. So I'm holding it there and then I'm going to curl it forward. So I'm curling it forward and I'm going back into that loop and curling it backward a little. This is where it's going to be tricky because I don't want to break this bead. And then I'm going to curl it forward again. Curl it back. And hopefully close it up. So this is kind of new for me, working with a bead that's this shape. Now I am going to just make sure that it's straight, like so. And there we have a little bead on a piece of wire. So now we can hook this onto wherever I want to hook it onto. So let me see if I can put it on like a dark piece of something, this coffee lid, so you can see how it looks. I hope that's showing up. So that's how it ends up looking. Now the next one, I'm going to put 2 beads on there. And let's see how that looks. So before I cut this, I like to kind of straighten it out as best as I can. And cut off a little length. It's going to be a little longer than the last one. Maybe like 70% of this example one that I have. I don't know if I should give you guys a measurement because I'll give you a measurement in case you use these specific beads. So for 2 beads, I'm just preliminarily cutting cutting, it looks like a tiny bit less than an inch and a fourth. So about an inch and a fourth. Now I am going to make the loop. Curling it forward into itself and then backing it up a little bit so you get that type of shape. That type of shape. I hope I've been in frame. And then just kind of just checking to see if it's kind of like closed so that the loop part is touching the curved part, the end of it is touching the straight part of this, and then again making sure it's flat. And if I see that it's a little bent, I can try to fix it a little bit. You can buy eye pins that are already done for you, so you don't have to go through this process. But getting wire like this is just, it's cheaper. All right, I'm gonna put the bead on and then put a second one on, and that looks like a good length that's left. So an inch and a quarter is good for two of them, it looks like. So I'm holding this with my pliers, and I'm holding it so that when I curve it forward, it's going to be in the same direction as this bottom loop here. And I am going to curve it forward, curving it forward, and then going in there. And curving it forward again until it touches the wire. And then I'm going to back it up a little bit. And just keep working it back and forth until I like how the loop looks. Okay. Then going to make sure that it's closed. I will say working with this star shape is a little trickier than if it was just like a round bead. Okay, so now we have two little pieces. Let's try one with three, just to see how that looks. Just kind of straightening this out. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do the size of my example one. Cut this off. And okay, I'm going to go slow again. And I'm going to really try to stay in frame this time. So I'm just holding the wire between my pliers, my round nose pliers. I'm curving it forward. I'm taking it out. And I'm putting this leg in, curving it forward more just to close it. And you see how it's like not a good, it doesn't look nice, that type of curve, because it's going too far forward. So we want it to look more like an 8, like one side of an 8. So this is curving too far forward like that. So that's why I'm going to back it up a little bit, backing it up so it looks more like this shape, where it's not curving forward. And then I'm just going to play with it until it's like closed and the shape that I like. See how it's a little bit open there? Oops, wrong pliers. You could either keep working with your round nose pliers to close that gap up, like what I'm doing right here. Just keep playing with it back and forth. And then you can use this. This is how I do it. I'm not a professional, but this works for me. If there's just a little bit left, I kind of use this to close it that little bit more the rest of the way. And I just kind of work with it a little bit. And make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to take out 3 stars. So here's 1. And make sure you guys throw these little tiny pieces of metal away, because you do not want a metal splinter. That has never happened to me, and I don't plan on letting that happen. Okay. Then I'm going to take 3 pieces. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit and string them on here. And there we have 3 stars. Now this is a tiny bit longer than I would like, so I am going to cut a tiny bit off. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. Grab this. I think I need to cut a little bit more off because the loop is going to be too big. So I'm just going to snip off a tiny bit more. And I always hold this to know which direction I'm going to curve it in, because I want them to be curving the same way. And let's do the same thing. So you see how I curved it in? I'm going to take it out, put my pliers back in, curve it some more. I'm seeing that I need to make the loop a little bigger, so I go down further into the plier so that I am working with a bit of a larger loop. Curve it in, back it out, curve it in, back it out. I'm gonna back it out more. I'm afraid I'm gonna break the star. And then curve it in, and then take this and straighten it out. I'm going to make sure that nothing's really curving. All right, so we have 3 right there with 1, 2, and 3 stars. Let me get rid of these little pieces. I'm gonna put it in my trash. Okay. Now, let's see what we're gonna do. My idea, So I'm gonna put these to the side for a second because I'm gonna work with these little moons first. And my idea, now the moons, you don't need to do any of that fancy stuff with it, putting it on a wire, because it has a loop. It comes with a loop already. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some jump rings right here, and I am going to use these stronger jump rings, and I'm gonna put the moons up here. So for this one, I'm gonna put it up top. So I'm gonna take a jump ring and open it up. I don't have 2 pairs of flat nose pliers, so I'm using this little area right here to kind of grab onto it and open it. I'm gonna loop a moon onto this jump ring, and then I'm gonna loop this onto the area that I want to attach it to. Then you're gonna hold it again with your 2 pairs of pliers, like so, and close it. Now let me go over the closing part in case you guys have never done this before. Okay, trying to stay in frame. It kind of looks pretty, right? Like this, the way it looks like right there. All right. Oh, wow. It looks good. It looks good, you guys. Okay. To open a jump ring, this is for any type of jump ring. You don't want to open it like this. You want to go forward and back to like give a little gap, because if you open it like this, it's going to weaken the metal right there. Sorry if I'm not in frame, gosh. You're gonna weaken the metal and it's gonna break. So when you go forward and back, it doesn't do that. So I'm going forward a little bit. I'm gonna loop this moon on here. And for this next one, I wanna put it in the middle of this. So I'm gonna find the midpoint. It doesn't have to be exact, because you guys know me, I'm not exact. I'm gonna loop this on here. And I am going to just kind of pick the middle, like approximate middle, and loop it onto this chain, and go ahead and close up the jump ring. Let me make sure I am in frame. When you move it back in or out, you kind of want to veer inwards so that you know that the ends are going to touch and close up properly. I think that looks so good. I was kind of picturing this in my head when I made this order, but I didn't know how it would turn out. Sorry if you guys can't see that. I'm gonna hang it up later and show you from a different view, but it looks so pretty. It looks like it belongs here. Now I'm gonna put this one maybe down here, maybe like just slightly above. It doesn't have to be, I don't want it to be too symmetrical where it's like top, middle, bottom. This can be a little slightly off center. That's just how I like to do things. So again, I'm going to open this, and as I open it, I'm kind of veering it to be close, like to go together. That probably didn't make sense, but I'm gonna loop this on, and I don't really care which direction it goes. I mean, I think that's how I did it last time, where the bumpy side is facing forward. I'm gonna put this, I think I'm gonna put it right here. And then I'm gonna close this back up. And as I'm closing, I'm kind of veering inwards and closing. Just a tiny bit, because you don't want it to overlap, you just want it to touch. Can you see that? I'm just gonna kind of clamp it. And let's see how that looks. It looks really pretty. Yeah, they look like they belong there. Okay, so let me lay it down so you guys can kind of see how they're just sitting there, being pretty. I love pretty things. There. All right, now I think I'm gonna do this somewhere. I think I'm gonna do that up there. And I'm even thinking of putting two of them together. And then maybe putting this one like with this moon. I think we'll try that. I'm gonna grab a couple more jump rings. There's just so many different variations that you can do. See how this is kind of overlapping a little bit? So I don't want to overlap it more, right? So when I open it, I'm just going to try to open like out a little. All right, now the tricky part. I'm trying to string them both on here and then onto the piece itself. I think it's big enough. I mean, the jump ring is pretty small, but I think it'll be fine. We'll see. Kind of squeezing it together so that it closes properly. And let's see how that looks. Okay, I think it's a little too much because it's not laying that straight. So I think I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna put the one that has 3 on there. I'm gonna be honest, this is way easier than I thought it would be, because I thought I would have to like design this whole big thing. Almost dropped it. Design it and really be intentional with it, but all these pieces are so pretty that it looks good. Like, it takes very little effort to make it look good, because on their own, all the pieces already look good. So you can't really mess it up. And everything in this order looks so, like, the quality looks really good of the stones and the pieces. Even though the moons are not a stone, I don't know if these are stones or what they're made of. I'll have the link down below so you guys can like look at it. But it's literally so pretty. Like, it looks like very good quality, each of these from this order. All right, I think that looks good. At the end, I'm going to show you guys how it looks hanging so you can get like the proper view of it. Now, let's experiment with this one star. maybe I want it to hang with this. So I think I'm going to take a jump ring and just loop it on, see how it looks. Okay. For some reason I cannot get a good hold of this jump ring. Okay, I'm gonna loop this on. See, I think I made the loops too small. That's why it looks a little stiffer. Loop this on here. And close this up. Okay, sorry I have to look at this. I know it's not the best view for you guys, but I'm just going to check it really quick to see how it's looking, to see if it's hanging correctly. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm kind of having doubts about this one now. Maybe it's better when it's only one. Let me try putting two, because the wire makes it look too stiff. That's why it's kind of, it's not hanging the way I want it to hang. So maybe putting 3 on there is not a good choice. Let's try 2. I'm gonna try 2 and see how that goes. I think I'm going to try it on this last one where the three cluster was, and then I'm going to take the one with 3 off and redo that one. Gonna take this one off. Let me know if you guys have any questions on any of this, like what I'm doing. Okay, let me hold it up for a second. Yeah, it only looks good when there's 1 star on the eye pin because it's not flexible enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off and switch it to just having 1. Okay. All right, so we are going to, let me see, I am at 34 minutes. So let's do a couple with just 1 and add them on and see how they look. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. And I don't want to break the star, so let's hope that worked. So I am going to am I in frame? No. I am going to go ahead and let's straighten this out a little bit more. All right, let's grab a jump ring. Actually, let me decide where I want to put it on. And I'm going to add it onto the top of this chain because the long chain is has a lot of empty space. So let's put it kind of randomly. Not too much near the top, but not too much near the middle or the bottom, like that. I'm telling you guys, these beads are so pretty. Whoops. I need to invest in another pair of flat-nosed pliers. I feel like this part is like not as sharp anymore. It doesn't hold it as well. Or maybe I'm like afraid I'm gonna break the bead or something. All right, let's see how that looks. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's add some more stars. So my idea, because this is rather long, is to clip it on here onto the book and then have it hanging as a chain down this way as well as this main part right here. And I think that'll be good because then there's more going on. This is going to be the main dangle. I'm thinking I might have some more dangles with more playful beads. This is more like the pretty one, but I might do a couple strands in different styles. So let's go ahead and do a few more here. Go ahead and cut this. I could have cut that a little longer. This is going to have to be a really tiny loop. Yeah, this is going a little bit wrong right now. Let me see if I could rescue this. guys can see what I'm doing or trying to do. Let me flatten this out a little bit. That'll help maneuver this. And I'm trying to curl in. There we go. All right, now let's get a jump ring. Loop it on. I think I'll do it right here, right under the middle moon. See how that looks. I think I might be having trouble with this plier because the piece is pretty heavy. So it's kind of like making it more difficult. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's kind of weird, but I think I like it. It's like the quirky star. Okay, but I think I'm going to show you guys what I have so far. The video is getting pretty long, so I don't want to continue. If I might come back to do a second video on decorating this side. But let me see if I can find... I had this little hanger thing that I was hanging it on so that you guys can see how it looks. Okay, let me hang it up here. And I'm going to take you guys off of this little tripod thing so you can see how pretty this is. Okay. Do you guys see that? So there is the chain all by itself. Like up here, I didn't do any changes up here. And here is where we added the little moons, the purple moons, and the little star. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me see if I can keep you guys down here for right now. Actually, you guys are seeing all the behind the scenes. But let me actually show you one originally. I'll show you guys an original one, how it looks and how I doctored it up. Although I don't have anything to hang this on. Because this comes, there's 5 of these in a pack. So let me see, I think I can hang it on here. Oh my gosh. Well, now we can test the durability. It's durable. It did not break or anything. All right. Okay, I hope it stays. All right, so let's see how the original one looks like this. Very beautiful, even just on its own. and it's perfect on its own. But because I'm extra, I added the star beads and the moon beads. So this right here, these 3 little moons, and the star right here, the star right here, and the star down here. And I think it works well with it too. It makes it a little more magical. This one's more simple and elegant. Right here, just very simple and beautiful. But this is just a little bit more magical, right? Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer the doctored up one or just this plain one? Because they are both just stunning. And when I come back, I think we're going to be decorating this side. So I'm really going to be making it very fancy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun experimenting. And if you liked this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. And make sure that you're subscribed today so that you get, and hit the bell notification so you get notified when I post again. But I loved this project. I can't wait to work on it a little bit more. And thank you so much for watching today. And and if you guys want information on any of these products right here, the moons, the stars, or the dangle, check out Beebeecraft. All their information will be in the description box, and you can get 10% off your order if you use my coupon code. But thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.